Will you lend in areas that have high crime rates? Here's the deal, guys. I don't know why you'd want to invest in areas that have high crime rates. I've always said my rule of thumb, if I want to buy a property, invest a property, fix and flip a property in an area, comes down to this. Would I let my wife or my daughter or my girlfriend or whatever the case is walk down the street at night alone? If the answer to that question is no, you shouldn't be investing in that area. That's the litmus test that I've used for 22 years, and that has served me very well. That's really what it comes down to. The problem that you're dealing with when you're dealing with high crime areas is you're dealing with a property being vandalized, you're dealing with people potentially moving in and taking residence, then you have to go through an eviction process, squatters is what they're called, and a lot of other problems that come with that. You're also dealing with what's happening to the other properties on the street as well. So crime is everywhere. We realize that. But the question is it high crime? Is it violent crime? Is it property crime? Those are things that you're going to be wanting to look out for. What we do is we use a service called AreaVibes. There are some other services that you can use, and you can also just talk to your local police precinct. Let's just come here, and we're going to go to AreaVibes. Oops, not now. So here's AreaVibes, and let's just say, oh, I don't know, Georgia, Atlanta zip code 300. Okay, Roswell. Okay, so if we're coming in this area here, what are we dealing with? This has a livability score of 77%. What we're looking for here is crime, okay? So there's 2,253 crimes per 100,000 people, and there's 464 violent crimes in that area. Let's get rid of this little ad. This gives us a breakdown, okay? So we're talking murders, rapes, robberies, assaults for a total of violent crime, where property crime is burglary, theft, vehicle theft. So, I mean, nationwide, this is kind of what you're looking at, and Georgia as a whole is what you're looking at. So here we come. Murder. This one has a little bit less murder for Georgia as a whole. Okay, a little less than for the rape, but robbery, it's more than what you're looking for, and assault. So this is an interesting area. This is one where I'd be cautious, very cautious on. The ultimate decision is going to be made by the evaluators. Like, how rough is this neighborhood? Is this neighborhood a place where you've got to worry about these things happening? A couple of things. This will hurt your property values. Let's say that there was a murder and it was right across the street from the property that you're in the middle of rehabbing. That's going to have an impact on your values, whether you like it or whether you don't, because there's going to be police tape and scenes and people will see your house in the background, and all those different types of things are going to have an impact. So what we're trying to do as investors is, how do we make, this is the triangle, this is the most amount of money, okay? We want to make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort and the least amount of risk. Okay, how can we make the most amount of money with the least amount of effort and the least amount of risk? When you start talking about these higher crime, violent crime neighborhoods, this element of risk goes up substantially, because you have no control over what somebody else is going to do in one of these high crime neighborhoods. And we know there's a higher probability that's going to happen than in other places. So when you're dealing with these areas, you've got to be very cautious on how that's going to have an impact on your property values. So this is a way to look and get an idea of what violent crimes are looking like. In the end, the evaluators are going to make the determination when they go to the property, how high crime, how violent, and the impact that that is having. But I'll tell you, I've sent evaluators of properties that said, I won't even go to that neighborhood, or I only go to that neighborhood if I'm carrying a gun with me. Those are not the properties that you want to be investing in. You don't want where somebody is scared for their life to drive into an area. You definitely don't want to be investing in those neighborhoods.